Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Thank you for joining us once again, where we bring you the latest and most compelling news stories from around Pattaya and the surrounding regions of Chonburi. Today, we have several reports filled with dramatic moments, heart-pounding rescues, incidents of honesty that deserve recognition, as well as troubling tragedies. Each story tonight is a reminder of how fragile and unpredictable life can be in this bustling coastal city. Let's begin our coverage. We start in Sri Racha, Chonburi, where a Myanmar couple endured an almost unbelievable accident. The husband and wife were riding together on their motorcycle, expecting nothing more than an ordinary journey. Instead, within a matter of seconds, their lives were turned upside down when they crashed into a concrete barrier on an overpass and were thrown more than 10 meters down to the ground below. Rescue workers arriving at the scene found the pair lying in a patch of wet, muddy grass. 33-year-old Mr. Za Polapai, covered head to toe in mud, cried out in pain but was able to move, his injuries thankfully minor. His wife, 42-year-old Nan Wei, was in critical condition. She lay motionless, suffering from what medics feared were broken bones in her arm and severe spinal injuries. Paramedics rushed to stabilize her before carefully transporting her to hospital. The emotional scene left rescuers touched as the husband wept beside his wife, blaming himself again and again, begging medics to save her life. Witnesses also described the shocking moment of the crash. A security guard stationed nearby recalled hearing a huge bang and then seeing objects plummet from the sky. At first, he thought it was luggage or debris, but then, to his horror, he realized it was two people. He immediately called emergency services and begged the distressed husband not to move his injured wife until help arrived. Up on the bridge, police discovered the couple's damaged Honda Scoopy lying on its side. Scattered around were personal belongings, a shoe, and even a plastic bag containing cartons of school milk, which suggested the couple may have been traveling from or to a routine errand. Mr. Za later told investigators he had mistakenly taken a wrong turn onto the elevated road. He believed it was a straight route, and when the sharp curve appeared, he was going too fast to stop. In that moment, fate intervened. Instead of landing on the concrete road, they landed on soft grass, which experts say almost certainly saved their lives. Police have said that while speed and unfamiliarity were the main causes, the outcome could have been much worse. It was, quite simply, a miracle. From this story of survival, we move to a report that shines a very different light on Pattaya, a story of honesty and integrity in a city often criticized for crime and scams targeting tourists. Municipal officers patrolling Walking Street found a wallet on the ground outside a shop. Inside, they discovered not just identification documents, but a large amount of cash. Nearly 4.5 million Indonesian rupiah, along with Chinese yuan and Thai baht. The officers could have ignored the wallet, or worse. But instead, they did exactly what was expected of professionals. They secured the property, recorded the contents, and made an announcement to try and locate the rightful owner. Less than 2 hours later, a 21-year-old Chinese tourist named Miss CU approached them in panic, reporting her wallet missing. After verifying the passport and confirming the money, the officers returned it to her. She broke down in gratitude, thanking them repeatedly for their honesty. Observers applauded the officers, saying this is the kind of integrity that restores tourists' faith in Pattaya. City leaders later praised the officials, noting that small actions like this play a big role in shaping the international reputation of Pattaya. As tourism continues to recover, stories of honesty and safety may be just as important as the city's famous entertainment attractions. While that story brings hope, our next report shows the darker side of Pattaya streets. Authorities arrested a notorious drug dealer known locally as An Naklua. The man, identified as 42-year-old Chatklam Rung Sangshon, had been supplying ketamine, methamphetamine, and ecstasy to both small-scale dealers and direct users. His network spread across the beach areas and deep into the nightlife scene. Officials acted on a tip through a public reporting app. They staged a sting, sending an undercover agent to purchase drugs near a rental property along Pattaya Beach. When the suspect arrived on a motorcycle to make the delivery, officers moved in quickly. On him, they found ketamine pills, but what investigators uncovered afterward was even more alarming. A raid on his townhouse in Naklua revealed a well-stocked drug operation. On the upper floors, 2 firearms with ammunition were hidden inside a black case. Paraphernalia, scales, and baggies were scattered about. Downstairs, in a locked box, authorities discovered significant amounts of drugs. More than 100 yaba tablets, nearly 100 grams of crystal meth, and over 20 ecstasy pills. It was enough to supply dozens, if not hundreds, of users. Police say this was no small-time dealer, but a dangerous player with connections in the local market. He now faces serious charges, including possession with intent to distribute and illegal possession of firearms. Officials vowed to continue monitoring tips from the public, encouraging residents to report suspicious activity. Community members, they stressed, are a critical part of keeping Pattaya safe. And finally tonight, a story of deep sadness. In central Pattaya, a man fell from the upper floors of a luxury condominium to his death. The incident occurred around midday and sent shockwaves through the busy downtown area. Witnesses described hearing a loud, chilling impact. When they ran to the courtyard, they found the lifeless body of an Asian man believed to be in his 30s or 40s. The injuries were catastrophic, leaving little doubt that the fall was fatal. Rescue workers and police quickly cordoned off the area. Investigators believe he may have fallen from the 32nd floor, as evidence on that rooftop balcony, including cigarette butts and the impression of someone sitting on the ledge, was discovered. At present, police cannot confirm whether he was a resident, a visitor, or even if the fall was intentional. They're leaving all possibilities open: accident, suicide, or foul play. Residents of the building, shaken by the event, said that although the towers are known for their stunning views of Pattaya, the tragedy has now cast a dark shadow over the complex. Authorities are now working urgently to identify the victim and to trace the events that led up to the fall. They have promised a thorough investigation. Ladies and gentlemen, these 4 stories together show the full spectrum of human experience in our city, from miraculous survival against all odds to acts of honesty that deserve applause, from determined police operations against crime to tragedies that leave unanswered questions. Each event tonight is a reminder of how quickly lives can change and how communities must respond with courage, with integrity, and with compassion. That concludes our report for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. We truly appreciate your time and attention. Please take care, stay safe, and we look forward to bringing you more updates in our next broadcast. Until then, thank you for watching.